Hello and welcome to another episode of Retold, where we look at some of the best travel writing of generations past. It's been a few weeks since I posted. It's now summer outside and it's pretty hot in here, so apologies if I'm sweaty. But today we have an absolute cracker for you. This book, Bottoms Up in Belgium by Alec Le Sueur. And before we get into that, I'd just like to ask you once again, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And if we do that, we'll be giving away 5 books from this series to 5 lucky subscribers. So if you're enjoying this content, please hit subscribe and let's get into it. So let's get into the book. It's one of my favorite books, probably because it resonates with me. I used to live in Brussels, Belgium. And this book, you see Le Sueur find out what the country's really about. After meeting his future wife, who's Belgian, he goes on a number of trips and visits to the country in order to really find out the essence of Belgium and what it means to be Belgian. Le Sueur visited well-known areas of Belgium, such as Brussels, with its unusual communes and monuments like Mannequin Piss and the Atomium, along with the even more multicultural European Quarter. He visited Antwerp in the Flemish region, with its amazing city hall and history of diamond and commodity trading, and Liège in Wallonia, the centre for industry and production within Belgium. It was also home to a large pharmaceutical processing plants. Le Sueur also visited places away from the main cities and places that may not be quite as well known to outsiders, such as Hasselt and Spa. But what he also did in this book, and something we're going to talk about today, is travel around Belgium and sample one of its finest produce, beer. So let's talk about Belgian beer. Well, it's something that it's so well known for, and something that Belgians really hold dear to their heart. But today we're going to talk about 3 things: Belgian beer in general, Abbey beers, and also the famous Trappist beer. So let's get into it. Beer is very much part of Belgian culture. So much so that UNESCO has actually given it a special cultural heritage status. Now, there are many different types of beer in Belgium. Anything from fruit beers, pale ales, pilsners and lagers, anything up to high-strength beers, such as Quack, which is my favorite because it's served in a unique glass that looks like a test tube. Now, there really is something for everyone here. And what I'd say to anyone visiting Belgium is go and sample it. You have thousands and thousands of varieties, so you're sure to find something that you'd enjoy. But now let's talk about Abbey beers. The designation of Abbey beer has a pretty long history. It used to be applied to all beers produced in abbeys across Belgium and the Benelux countries. But since the official Trappist beer was created and branded, it has since come to mean many different things. That might be beer produced by a different type of monastery, such as a Benedictine monastery, commercial breweries that have an agreement to brew beer that used to come from a monastery that is still active, or indeed a beer that is branded with the name of a now defunct abbey and is brewed by a commercial brewer. But as we've mentioned, Trappist beers are a little bit special and a little bit different. They are brewed in part or wholly by Trappist monks in Trappist monasteries. Now, there are actually only a few of these around. Generally, they come from the Benelux region, but since branding, they've actually expanded a little bit more. So there are 6 in Belgium, 2 in the Netherlands, and 1 each in Austria, Italy, England, France, and Spain. One of these breweries, Westerleerten, was founded in 1838 at the St. Sixtus Abbey. Some consider this to be the best beer in the world, but that might be because it is so hard to get hold of. It is not made officially for commercial sale and only sold daily from the doors of the monasteries in very small batches. Now, I was actually lucky enough to try this beer. I remember we just moved to Belgium. We had some new neighbours who had just moved in at the same time, and we got invited down, as you do, for a beer at their apartment. And this story was told to me. The story of the Abbey selling the beer from the back door, and it being extremely unofficial, unregulated, and therefore really interesting. And as I was told as well, some view this beer as the best in the world. I was extremely excited to try this. I really enjoy my beer, so this was something that I was quite looking forward to trying. But to be perfectly honest, I found it a little bit disappointing. Given the vast variety of Belgian beers, there really is something for everyone, and clearly there's something a bit better for me. As I mentioned before, I quite like Quack. Give me Quack any day of the week. But I would say if I had to pick my favourite beer in Belgium, it would be Le Sueur. For me, it's got something that you can drink every day. It's got an everyday drinkability about it. It's flavoursome, but not too strong, not too overpowering like some of the fruit beers. And to me, it is just a perfect beer. So that brings us to the end of our video. But if you've been to Belgium and you've tried Belgian beers and you like Belgian beers, or indeed like any beers, please leave a comment down below and tell me which beer is best for you. Until then, keep reading, keep traveling, keep drinking. Goodbye.